So guys, the chaos of express entry draws is all around. IRCC is not stopping with its bag of surprises here and there. Yesterday was one express entry draw which was all programmed. Today was another draw which was STEM based, and this week we are expecting another draw for healthcare. Guys, express entry draws are all around, yet the scores are not dropping. People are filling in the applications, getting a part of the pool, but nobody really knows what's going to happen. So today in this video we will try and decode what's really happening with the draws. Let's just look at the draws that happened yesterday and today, and we will also look at what's going to happen in the days to come and the draw that is about to come shortly for healthcare as well. So guys, let's be tuned till the end. My name is Sahil. Guys, welcome back once again. My name is Sahil and I'm a regulated Canadian immigration consultant and I practice here in Ontario. My office is here. If you have to get in touch with me, my number is on the screen and the details are there in the description box. More than happy to speak with you. Before we proceed any further, please make sure that you hit the subscribe button and the bell icon, because we talk a lot about Canadian immigration. And if you are an aspirant of moving to Canada, then this is a channel that you must be subscribed to all the time. Guys, express entry is all over in the news. After the immigration minister talked about category-based draws under the provisions of Bill C-19, they came out recently in the month of May and they announced that the category draws would be back, basically would be starting for the first time. And the summer of 2023 was the first time that the world would have ever seen the category-based draws. Now, after that, there were two, surprising all-program draws that the people were not expecting on multiple days here and there. And then finally, IRCC released its first category-based draws, which was focused towards the healthcare workers. Then they said this week, which is the week of 5th of July, they said that this particular week will see more draws for categories, will include STEM-based category draws, and people would also see a couple of draws here and there. Finally, we are here on 5th of July, which is today. IRCC held its STEM-based draw. They also held a draw yesterday, surprisingly, 4th of July, that was an all-program draw. Now first let's look at these draws and then we'll talk about what's really happening and why is a chaos there. Now, the draw that happened yesterday was draw number 253, where about 700 invitations were rolled out to people having CRS score of 511, and the tiebreaker was kept at July 01, 2023. Guys, this was a very high ranking draw. Nobody was expecting this because 511 was a very high score. People did not have those scores because it is not really common for people to have those scores. Even people who are outside Canada, masters with the right age, best of English experience, it is not really possible to reach that score. People with 500 and above would normally be people who either have Canadian experience, education, points of LMIA, or maybe have French language. So, in no way, means and method is IRCC focusing these draws on the common masses that are there in India or any other country. So, the yesterday's draw was not really, pleasing to a lot of eyes. And so wasn't today's draw as well, which was July the 5th, 2023. 500 invitations were rolled out to people having a minimum CRS of 486, and this was focused at the STEM category only. Science, technology, engineering and mathematics. STEM is all of these people with occupations in these categories, architects, web designers, everybody in the STEM industry. For them, this was focused upon. The previous couple of draws have been surprising as well. If you look at the draw that was held on May 24th, that was 4,800 people invited at 488, and that particular draw happened after 2 weeks. Post May 24th, they had one more draw which was surprising again, which was all program 4,800 people kept at 486, and then they had an all program draw on June 27th. So there was a long pause. Again, suddenly, June 27, they hold a draw. There were 4,300 people at 486. Finally, on June 28th, which was just the following day, June 28th, they held a healthcare draw for 500 people at 476 again. So that's the first surprise. Nobody was expecting that draw. Suddenly, when they had previously announced on May 31st that they are starting with healthcare draws, back to back no draws of category. Then suddenly draw of healthcare, 500 people only. Then they held one draw yesterday, all programs 700 people with such a high score. And then today again they have a 500 invitation kept at 486. Guys, this week once again we are expecting another draw for healthcare people, which is going to be focused at 1500 people. Overall, I have two readings on the express entry draws, or the way IRCC is holding draws. These two readings, the first one is basically IRCC is manipulating these draws. They have not set out a pattern for people to predict what's going to happen. So they're trying to mold here and there, but they have been consistently pausing and releasing draws so that they can wait for people to fill in, and they only want to bring out the cream. They are not looking to so far as what I can read, they are not trying to go below 480, because the last lowest that I remember was 481 non-category, I mean the all program draw, 481, but they are not trying to go below that. So they're trying to keep their all program draws above 480s. So that's one reading. Second, they're trying to draw the best, and now with drawing the best, they're trying to keep it category based. So they're being very, very selective. So the final understanding here is to beat the chaos, to beat this whole mess. I think people will now have to resort to two big solutions. One of the solution could be that, guys, it is now high time you have to now start learning French, because if you want to beat the system, you need to go for the higher shot, which is getting 50 points for French, or you need to go towards getting yourself a job offer, which is finding a job here in Canada if the employer gives you an LMIA, or even if it's an LMIA exempt job offer, claiming those 50 points. So you need to beat the system and reach that level. If not, if that is something that you're not able to do, then you want to look at coming to Canada temporarily, including a visitor visa, converting that into a work permit or a study, or directly a work permit or directly a study permit. So coming to Canada on a temporary visa, including a work or a study, you study here, get some points, work here, get some more points, get the best of English, and then you can reach over 500. Guys, all in all, with the kind of quotas that are left over for Canada, with for people to get their permanent residencies, I think Canada is moving towards bringing in people in a more selective manner, especially the high ranking candidates. Although we are yet to see the trades draws and the draws in transportation, we are not yet sure how those draws are going to be placed like. But yes, all in all, for the common masses, for the general draws, the scores will now or should be sitting at a higher score. So you really need to buckle up, start focusing on this. And if IRCC has not left an express entry option for you, then you must look at alternate options of coming to Canada temporarily, or maybe using PNPs or the other pilot programs, because those could possibly be one of your last options. Otherwise, forget everything, try to learn French, or rather look for a job offer or come to Canada to study. That would be a better option for people if nothing else works out. So this is not a final advice, not an individual advice for anybody, because people will have certain situations, and also we are due to see how the draws are going to shape out now in the coming next couple of months. If they try to reduce the express entry scores, the CRS, they might push up the number of people being invited, or depending upon how many people get added in the pool as well. So let's just wait and see how this express entry season, the draw season, is going to hold out for the next 2 or 3 months. Then I think it will be a better time to make a strategy for the future. Guys, I know it's a bit confusing for everybody. Trust me, we have tried the best to explain you in as crisp manner as possible. But if you have anything personal to discuss with us, please feel free to schedule a consultation, and we would be more than happy to speak with you. Once again, we wish you all the best, and we really hope to see you soon in Canada. All the best.